call this meeting to order. We have the invocation, please. Maureen, all rise.
Give a little more than you have to. Try a little harder than you want to. Aim a little higher than you think is possible. And give a lot of thanks to God for health, family, and friends. Art Linkletter.
Wow. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to have approval of the minutes for July 16th, the workshop meeting, July 16th, public hearing, July 23rd, regular council meeting, and August 8th, special council meeting.
So moved. Second.
So moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to have an adoption of this agenda with the exception of a quit claim deed for ratification of a quit claim deed for Sarah Dowell, land lot 195.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with that addition.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That'd be item 11. Okay. Mayor's remark. Well, we get through the election, all right, and everybody has been nominated. I hope that everybody will listen to both sides. When I say sides, one group to another group, or to individuals that are running. The city has been, in my mind, the last 2 years has been really coming to the forefront. A lot of people don't think so, but I do. And I'm sitting here, so. Other than that, we've had other issues, other things going on. Mr. Moody will tell you about the compactor in these weeks. And we've done the road crew has been doing an excellent job with the equipment we got and the people that we have. We always could use more help, but they are doing, in my mind, a very good job. And I want to thank James and his crew for that work. And now I'll start with council's remarks. Paul?
Thank you, everybody, for coming to the meeting, participating this morning. And thanks for everybody that stepped up and willing to take a role in the city by running for a council or mayor. It's appreciated. So, thank you all. Have a good day.
Jim?
Good morning. It has struck me over this year how much I love living in Sky Valley. I can't think of a more beautiful place to live. We have traveled somewhat widely, short periods this year, and my wife and I go to some really neat places where we look at one another and say, you know, this is really nice, but I would rather live in Sky Valley than here. Whether we're in a park or a beach or one of the great cities of America. I take great heart to see that our democracy in Sky Valley is alive and well. We have, in a year when we needed to come up with 4 volunteers to serve, every position that's open in this election is being contested. And not only that, but the quality of candidates is probably unparalleled. Every single candidate is well qualified to serve for the positions for which they've been nominated. And so I'm once again heartened to be here in Sky Valley where that spirit of volunteerism is alive. Thank you.
Yeah,
If everybody hasn't, I suggest that you read the newsletter that came out yesterday. It's been a long time coming, and I think we need to recognize Ella and her staff and the police chief for the time and the effort that was put in to put this newsletter out so that people understand what's happening in a factual matter as opposed to word of mouth. I guess this is what's going on. But anyway, Ella did, I think, a great job putting this together, and I know she had help with it, and I know that the police chief added his remarks to it, and I thought they were appropriate, so thank you, Ella.
Like Bob mentioned, we have, the city's installed a couple of cameras at the press compactor to record what's being left there and who's some of y'all might be aware that in the past we've had some sort of ridiculous things that were left or put in the compactor. I don't think we're necessarily trying to, arrest people and all that. We're mostly trying to educate people. The limitations of the compactor, it's not like one of these car crushers. You can't just put anything in there and it'll crush it up. So kind of get the word out that it's for household garbage only, and hopefully people will do that, and if not, we'll be able to monitor who's abusing the system.
Ella?
As I was saying, I sent out a newsletter yesterday. There is probably extra copies back here if you've not taken time to look at it or you're not participating in our email. I have placed copies in the back for you to take home and keep with you if you have any questions. There are other reports, the tax report, the building inspector report, and the police department reports are in there. If you've got any questions, please just let me know if you need additional information.
Okay. All right. New business. Consider adoption of the reinstate PMEDS member retirement plan per IRS requirements.
Yes, sir. What this is, the IRS requires defined benefit plans to do compliance with IRS requirements periodically, and everyone that participates in the Georgia Municipal Association's retirement plan has to reinstate their plan and actually adopt the ordinance, and it has to be documented in a council meeting and recorded with GMA. This is not that unusual. This happens quite often with any type of government plan. You have to do this every so often because of IRS requirements.
Make a motion that we adopt the restated GMEBS membership retirement plan per the IRS requirements.
I second that.
Moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
And now we consider the sole bidder for excavator in the amount of $57,054.07. Tractor of Franklin Incorporated, a 2019. Where's Jim? I mean,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Whatever your name is, stand up. Down here, please.
Yes, sir.
Explain to the public, please, the tractor. What it's for?
What the uses could be for it.
Yes, sir.
All right, the uses for the new excavator could be anything, it can be used year round. You know, we can clean our ditches, straighten up the ditches. You know, a lot of you places, the ditches are just deeper and deeper. I know we've had issues with that. A lot of places will be able to come in, redo the ditches. We can use it for busting water lines, doing the digging. Our backhoe has so many miles on it. It still works, but you know, we have a lot of trouble with it. This is just going to bring the city where it needs to be. You can also get different attachments for these things. I'm looking at one that the city of Clayton has now. I went down and met with them. They have a bush hog you can put on it to help mow the banks. You know, so it's multiple uses. You know, we will have to have a trailer to haul it around. We won't be able to drive it to the city.
Just a track vehicle?
Yes, sir. It's a rubber track, so it'll be safe for the roads.
That sounds good.
Yes, ma'am.
How many attachments does it come with?
It should have just the angle blade on the front that you can use for grading and one bucket. Everything else has to be
What's a
exact.
bucket?
That's what you dig with,
Oh,
like what's on the end of the backhoe. That should be the only attachments that come with it. Everything else is you.
James,
Yes.
does that pusher on front double as a snow blade, or is it too short?
We can try it. I wouldn't recommend it get in deep snows because things do slide. This is a heavy machine. That's why you don't see the backhoe out in the snow. Because that weight pushing down, it causes it to slide very dangerous. It may be something we can try, you know, in level areas. You know, the parking lots and stuff like that down in the valley, it's something level. Probably wouldn't want to get it on the hills or anything, in the snow. And your blade's only, you know, about 16-inch stock blade.
Thank you.
All right.
I move that we accept the sole bid from Kubota Tractors of Franklin for the excavator in the amount of $57,054.07.
Second the motion.
Been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Now we consider a bid for a 20-foot trailer to lug it around with. Of $5,299.99.
I'll make a motion we approve the bid for the 20-foot trailer, $5,299.99.
I second it.
Moved and second. All in favor?
Is there discussion?
Any opposed?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Should I address this to James, or the question about the 20-foot trailer?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
James, regarding the 20-foot trailer, I understand from looking at the specifications for the Kubota that in its resting position, it's 18 feet long. And it's a 20-foot trailer, so clearly it's going to fit on there. Do you need more distance just to compensate for, you know, normal error? Or
No,
is there any other advantage to having a longer trailer?
The reason it needs to be the 18 to 20-foot trailer, he recommended this, I called it Kubota, with a 1-foot bid. This is the size he recommended. And it's mainly because you pull it up on, then you'll take that boom and roll it back. It's the pivot point out there. So we don't really need it. And plus you get above a 20-foot trailer, it's going to be hard to get through some of the curves.
Okay, that was really the
Some of the
emphasis
curves
of my
are real
question.
high,
Can
we
you
may
get
have to
around
unload
curves?
and walk around the curves in certain areas.
Now, I also noticed that the bed is 102 inches, which is 8.5 feet. And the Kubota is 6 feet 5+ inches, so there's about 12 inches on either side.
Yeah.
Now, the ramp system in the back, does that consist of the two tractor, flip over ramps?
It depends on which one we was going with. Some of them had to flip down ramps and some of them had a solid piece that came down.
Exactly. My concern being that with a 6.5 foot wide vehicle, and if it's a 20-inch ramp, and again, the one that we're contemplating buying, I didn't see a dimension for the ramp, but the other model, which was a little more expensive, had a wider ramp.
And far as the ramp, I mean, this
If
is
the-
normal, this is a normal for the skinny. I mean, they use them every day, as far as going up on them.
Okay.
Very safe. When the ramp does come down, if it's a fold down ramp, it has a piece that sits on the ground, so it's very stable.
Okay.
Would it be a little tricky on driving our backhoe? Just a little probably, where it's got some wire in it. But
Yeah.
this machine here won't straight up that thing and have to use it.
Okay, well, that was really my question, because it looked like it was a narrow vehicle. It looked like the ramps were way out on the outer edges of the back of the truck.
There's a rod that comes all the way across, you can move them in and out the ramps.
Okay, great. That answers my question. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Been moved and seconded to buy this trailer. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, and, all right, item number 11, for the quick claim deed. I'd like to have a motion to, for exception of the quick claim deed.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. We've got an executive session, but we'll go down to the public forum and general comments. Any person with business before the council not scheduled on the agenda as a public hearing may speak to the council for a maximum of 3 minutes. The speaker must identify by name, address before speaking. No formal action can be taken. Maureen?
Yes, thank you. Maureen Platt, 95 Breckenridge Lane. I wanted to say a major thank you to Megan Rule for the publicity she gave to the National Night Out. Megan, we had wonderful coverage before, and the picture spread full page afterwards. Thank you very much. And we've sent a letter thanking Megan and Mr. Knuckles, who's the publisher. The other thing is, I want to say thank you to James. I went to the pavilion about an hour before. Nurses are a little OCD, and I went out to check things, and the grass was cut, the garbage was picked up, the pavilion was very clean, the bathrooms were done, and everything was pristine. And I want to say thank you to James. It looked lovely.
Any other questions from the audience? Yes, sir.
Jack Jasinski, Forest Hills Condo Association, and I just have a question regarding the budget process. When do you anticipate the initial budget meeting to occur?
I'm working on it now. As I put out my newsletter, I hope to have some dates scheduled that I can send out to the public so they can know what we're doing on this. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I can get everything scheduled and get it finished up, get it out to the public. But yes, sir, I will send it out.
Thank you. And I noticed you had some road work done, and again, I don't pay much attention to road names. But if you go out the main entrance, take a left, and, you know, you head down toward the junction there, is that road our responsibility to any degree? Who does it belong to, the county?
That part is, some of it is in the county, some of it's actually in North Carolina, so there's a variance. So you know the part that's in North Carolina, I know they resurfaced their,
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of 3 significant potholes as you go down. And they've been there, and they've been there, and they've been there. I wonder if those could be taken care of.
actually, that is maintained, supposed to be maintained by the county. We put in a request for them to do that. They have not.
Okay?
I can follow up with the county administrator and see what the holdup is.
As a
but-
user of the roads, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, I will
Okay, thank
definitely
you.
do that, yes, sir.
Barbara Kobacker, 407 Pleasant Mountain Drive. I want to remind people that we have the bear magnets, and if you are in a condominium association, or if you rent your property out, vacation rental by owner, it really is imperative upon you that you notify the people renting about the bear situation. And putting a magnet on your refrigerator, your dishwasher, or whatever, gives them notice that we are and we do have a bear ordinance. It has been working. The bears have gone to Clayton, Persimmon, wherever. And I left a meatloaf sandwich in my car last night, and I barely slept because I flew the bear. But I've got the magnets. City Hall's got the magnets. They're $2 each. It's a good civic duty to let people know. Careful of the bear. Thank you.
If not, let's have a motion to adjourn and go into executive session on litigation.
Second.
Move and second, all in favor?
Can I have some cameras?
What's your question?
I was gonna tell you, I was looking at the paper the other day, and I was sitting very back, and I can't see very well, so I walked up there, I think,
I'd like to have a motion to bring this meeting back, please.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Come back
We
in.
got to go back,
Adjourn the special, executive
executive
session.
session.
we got to come back from the executive session.
For executive session.
We need a motion to come back into
Regular meeting.
regular meeting. Yeah, so-
Second.
Move second, one? All right, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Move second, all in favor? Meeting adjourned.
And no action was taken.
No action was taken.
Yeah.
Yes, you have first to say, okay.